folks. Welcome back. Yes, got my glasses on this time. To Limpsync Tips and Tricks installment 2 of 2 on this audio effects video. It's a TNT or Tips and Tricks tutorial. And you know, I do these from time to time. I have about 20 of them on my YouTube. By the way, I don't get paid for my YouTube. I choose not to optimize, to monetize. I just do it for fun. I drive my income elsewhere. I like to keep my fun and my business separate. So, this is going to be the second 10-minute tutorial. 10 minutes is the maximum. Express yourself, which is what this format is called. So we're talking, what are we talking about? We're talking about how to sound better. All right. So I just now published the first of 2 videos in this little 2-part series here. And we're talking again about audio effects. Why? We want you to sound better. We know that you want to sound better. And I have lots of experience and lots of passion in this area. And I want to share that with you. I want to help someone. I want to help you. So I've done a video like this in the distant past, and we're definitely due for an update. So that's why I've done this 2-part 2-video series here. I thought it would just be one, but we easily went over the 10 minutes on the first. So that may have already posted, or it will have already posted by the time I complete this final 2 of 2. All right, so we talked so far about, and make sure you see that video, part 1, of course. And then we talked so far about no video effect, magic, studio. We've talked about hype, and we've talked a little bit about Polish. And now we're going to talk about, in this tutorial, pop star, super pop, super studio, indie, SF opera, spotlight, double, stardust, and grunge. And I'm going to share my experience with all of those. Like I was sharing with you earlier, I'm very passionate in this area, and I keep spreadsheets actually, which is crazy. It seems like of all the audio effects that I've really enjoyed, that took me a long time to find on each of my songs. So that next time I sing that same song, because we often do have favorite songs, and we'll repeat them. I like to have new challenges and learn new songs, maybe, of course, every week, sometimes even every day. But, just the human nature, we like to repeat certain songs because certain songs bring out certain emotions. And that's what we're doing here. We're stimulating emotions. I'm a doctor, so we're stimulating parts of the brain. That's what we're doing. We're expressing ourselves artistically and emotionally. And that's the beauty. And if you want to see some of my quotes on music and stuff, you can check those out. Just look at my little profile. There's a link. I think it's bit.ly/L- quotes hyphen. Anyway, let's get back to this. All right, so we've talked about a few of the effects already, and let's pick up at pop star. Pop star. No. Nobody uses it. Okay, so don't really waste your time there. I've never used it. I've tried it hundreds of times, and it never sounded better than any of the others. That's my experience. I'm just sharing my experience, okay? So, super pop, very good. It's a good one sometimes, okay? Super pop will kind of give you that auto-tune effect, but you got to know how to use it too. One of my partners, my main singing partner, Whitty, who was, I think, one of the greatest singers in the world. I'm her #1 fan. She uses it a lot. It does help to be able to hit the notes like she can. But super pop can kind of give you a kind of a sterile kind of sound, like I said, and kind of an auto tune a little bit. And it can often sound like a crutch in a way. So I'm more partial to, even though I do have a subset of songs that I know, like on my spreadsheets, sound better in Super Studio. It's not a lot of them. Again, in general. So Super Studio is actually the best and most professional way to start in general, if you had to pick one. And I'm not talking about just rap. I'm not talking about competitions or auditions where you're not allowed to use some of these effects. Super Studio is a nice place to start, maybe in the 30s. Reverb of 30s, which is the top bar, over maybe a room effect, room size in the 30s. And then you dial up or down from there, okay, until you find the right match for the song and your voice. So that's probably the most powerful. That's the one that all the more professional singers here use in general. Not for all songs, but in general. Indie, it rarely wins. I don't think I've ever had a song sound better in indie in the 3 years that I've been doing this and the thousands of rows that I have in my spreadsheets. How about SF Opera? A lot of people, some people talk about it. I don't know why. I keep trying it. Hundreds of songs. It never sounds better than some of the others that I found, whether that's Super Studio or whatever. Spotlight, I like Spotlight. I'm liking that more and more. It's a new one that they've added. And I like it for just a subset of songs. I like it for the more intimate songs because it tends to have a lower kind of, like I've used it on Trouble recently and a few of the others. It sounds really decent. It has a smaller room size, and meaning it's more intimate. I want you guys to experience that. So like on love songs, before they had Spotlight, I would dial my room size down on Super Studio to like 2 to 10. On, not all love songs, but just the more intimate, the special expressions of love songs, okay? Those, I would dial the room size down to 2 to 10. Now with Spotlight, I use that sometimes too. Double, I love Double for rock. Double was the one I always used for rock before, along with Super Studio before Hype. Now I use all three. I'll use Hype or Super Studio or Double for rock, okay? Now don't confuse grunge. Grunge is a really tiny subset, maybe some Nirvana or some other, whatever. But even then, grunge is very hard to use because a lot of songs that have grunge just have parts of the song that are grunge. One of my friends, Chris, or Selby Monster, he's got a cool little method that he taught me that maybe some of you guys have probably discovered on your own as well, where you hold the mic if you want a more kind of grungy part of a song. Instead of putting the whole song in at grunge, you can sometimes cover it on that special part. Not the whole song, because it doesn't sound quite right always, right? Keep in mind, professional studios, like professional singers and labels, like they've got these amazing engineers and like $1 million studios and equipment and mixers, right? They're allowed to have multiple audio effects per song, but we can only choose one. Understand that. Some of you guys who are really advanced, very advanced, maybe you know how to add your mixer to this. I'm not quite at that level. So, or I haven't quite had the time yet to do that. So, so double's good, but you got to dial down to, I like -10 on the volume. So always remember, again, like I said on the first video, always dial down your volumes. Never sing a song and then just publish. That's ridiculous. I get it because you're at the end of your day, you're tired. I just want to sing. People just always say, I just want to sing. Well, you're sounding you're less good as well. So take a minute to dial your volume down a lot. Never go with 0 because you'll shout out the person you're singing with and it won't sound cool. And you'll sound like a novice. Dial down your volume and pick an audio effect. Like I said, if it's Super Studio, whatever, start with something. Stardust, very, very rare. I have done it maybe on 3 songs that I like, but it's not appropriate to waste your time on that. So that's all the different effects. So, like I said, what's a decent place to start? Depending on what you're doing. Like I said, never go with none, or even Polish, unless you're in the competition or doing an audition and it's required in the rules, or maybe unless you're doing some rap. That basically adds nothing, no refinement to your voice. And remember, professional singers worldwide since the dawn of time have always had studios, and they do this. They already have amazing voices, and they have the studio. So there's no shame in this game, like I mentioned on the first of these 2 videos. So you can start at whatever, Super Studio, and start in the 30s or 30s and go from there. If it's rock, you might go with some Hype, Double, or Super Studio. All right, 40 seconds to go. So don't get caught up in I want to sound genuine, or I don't want to add anything to my voice. Like your voice is that great. No, don't think of it that way. That's slightly arrogant in a way. You might think of it that way. Give yourself a little polish, a little refinement, and make things better for your audience as well. Ultimately, it'll come back to you. People will want to engage with you more. They'll appreciate you more. They'll want to sing with you more. So that's it, guys. Always dial down volumes. Remember that as well. Thank Thanks. Any questions, hit me up on public comments. Hopefully I made a big difference.